What's going on, Cover Killer Nation, and a happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Whether you're 16 or 116, which would make you really young or really old, if you're a father to a son or a daughter, it's one of the most important roles that you can have in your entire life. My dad was a great man. He still is a great man, and we're still very close and have a awesome relationship. And, you know, for everything that you guys do out there, dads, we say thanks on this day, although this is something that, just like Mother's Day or Valentine's Day or any holiday like that, we should really be doing on a daily basis, if not more often than just one day at the very least. But we're here to talk about an album. We're not here to talk about, you know, holidays and things like that. Kveikur by Sigur Rós, the new Sigur Rós album, which means candlewick, and I think we're going to refer to it specifically as candlewick for the purposes of this review, and my terrible pronunciation of things that, you know, aren't English. Yeah, that probably makes me really, really, you know, silly and an asshole and ignorant, but it's really more so something that I do out of respect because I know that my tongue sucks. However, this is a band that I've been interested in a very, very long time, ever since one of my best friends introduced me to their debut, and I've kind of tracked their career as they have grown. I've sort of, you know, fallen off and kind of, you know, didn't exactly follow them too deeply over the course of the past 5 years. However, whenever I heard that this album was coming out, I was very excited to hear where the band was going and where they had been, and figured that this would be a nice benchmark for kind of what I've missed. And one thing that I noted immediately whenever I turned on this album, right whenever I went to track number 1, which is also the lead single from the album, is wow. Sigur Rós has the ability, if they want to be quite heavy. They have the ability, actually, to almost try to take on the mask of a lighter post-metal band with a lot of shoegaze influence. There is a lot of shoegazing and a shoegaze influence on this album, and with track number 1, you definitely feel that in a more heavy environment, and that's something that sort of sets up a bit of a theme for this record, where it seems like they are a little bit more aggressive and a little bit more, you know, tense on this record than they are in previous records, especially on those that I remember. I really remember from their debut and from you know, the 2 subsequent albums, including the No Name, you know, parentheses album, as a lot of people may call it, them having a lot of great atmosphere, very, very soft, you know, very, very organic, and you know, you just really, you know, doused yourself in the atmosphere, and it sort of took you on whatever ride that your mind and your body and your spirit really took you on, which really gives you a really positive and relaxing experience for the most part. And not to say that they don't have the ability to sometimes unnerve you, but for the most part they seek and stick with very, very soft and harmonic, very beautiful, beautiful songs. So this was a bit of a surprise, and it was almost like, wow, maybe I've really missed something very, very big over the course of the past couple of years. And upon doing research, it really was just, you know, something that they planned to do for this album. They had a little bit more of an aggressive sound penned for it, and it really shows itself right off the bat with track number 1. However, a lot of the Sigur Rós trademarks are still on this album, so you know, classic Sigur Rós fans should not seek another album if they really want their ultimate bliss. This is certainly one that can give it to them, primarily because as this album continues, and as this album continues to flow forward, you definitely start to hear some of those more trademark elements of this band. There are a couple of moments where you almost feel a little bit like Sigur Rós is trying to simplify their complex musical structure, only adding in the shoegazing and the experimental element to it, in order to really create a little bit more of a dynamic atmosphere, something that's a little bit different than what they have kind of consistently been building to throughout the course of their career. And that's also a nice little element, because some of these songs, and I know that this is a word that a lot of people really, really hate, but some of these songs actually feel a little more accessible than some others. I really feel that even though Sigur Rós has definitely maintained a popularity amongst people who love this genre of music, I feel that this is perhaps another one of those albums for them that could easily be a gateway for other people. And I feel that it may be more of a gateway for harder, you know, people who enjoy harder music, to kind of take a step back and really step into something that's a little bit more of a shoegaze, post-rock style with some experimentation, and really discover a band that may become a new obsession. So instead of it actually coming from the other direction, it's actually one that's going from the direction of the harder-edged musicians that may listen to this and find it very uplifting, relaxing, kind of healing. And that is great for the band, considering it does open the door for a lot more people to come on board and really, you know, kind of experiment with this. And I think some people, if they see this album cover, because the album cover, which you see somewhere on the screen, it kind of reminds you of something that you might see from either a really experimental independent band, or an alternative group, or maybe from a metal group, a post-metal group, or, you know, a metal group that's aiming to really kind of fly in all directions as opposed to sticking on only one place in the musical radar. I really enjoyed the flow of this record. I love the how this album started off very heavy, but they were quick to really disclose that they still had that soft, that really harmonic, that really beautiful tendency. You really hear a lot of just fantastic riffing on this album, even though it's nothing that's going to be like all of that, you know, earth-shattering to a lot of people, because it is rather basic, but, you know, that's something that's a good thing. That's something that Sigur Rós has maintained. You know, these are guys that are principally about the atmosphere of the song and, you know, really relaying something that is quite, you know, emotional and quite beautiful, and they're able to accomplish that once again. This is one that definitely maintains your attention. It has plenty of variety on there, and this is one that if I were to make a recommendation on how to listen to this, you kind of want to be, and almost have to be, by yourself in a location that to you is private. And you just need to listen to this through a set of really, really good headphones and just sort of zone for a little bit. Don't overthink. Don't be doing too much. Just give yourself the opportunity to take this all in, because this is a band that's certainly going to put you in a state of calm, in a state of, you know, harmony. And that's something that once you get to that nirvana, so to speak, you're going to want to remain there for a little while. So, you know, don't have anything planned. Overall, I really enjoyed this record. I think it has a lot of positive elements, and I think that Sigur Rós fans and new fans alike are going to be very pleased with it, and I do think that this could draw some new people in. Sigur Rós is back. That's all I can really say aside from that, and it's definitely an exciting time. Sigur Rós fans should definitely pick this one up because, hey, it's Sigur Rós. And non-fans should definitely experiment with this album and give it a try, because there's a very, very high percentage chance that you're going to dig this, that you're going to enjoy it, and it may be something that you can add to your growing catalog of music, some of which, hopefully, I've told you about. Well, Cover Killer Nation, well, fathers, well, everybody out there, I bid you adieu for today. However, I will have a special video for you guys tomorrow, which is Monday, the whatever day it is here in June. So definitely stay tuned for that. See you later.